We saved Ted for last. Let's turn him into a cookie. I am Leslie with Leslie's Cookies and Treats, and today we're decorating Ted Lasso. And this cookie has a lot of little sections to bring together, and we're going to take it one piece at a time, create some separation between all of those different design elements, and let the cookie come together. Believe. And like the other cookies in the Ted Lasso series, I hand cut all of these cookies. And I've linked a tutorial on how to hand cut your own cookies if you don't have a cutter in the description. Also in the description is a list of all of the supplies I used to make these cookies. And just like the other cookies in the series, I'm starting out by outlining the cookie with a 15-second consistency royal icing in white. I'm going slow. I'm staying pretty close to the cookie so I can go around the edge. It's okay to start and stop because you're going to flood this in and cover up all of those lines. So once you finish outlining, go ahead and flood your cookie in. I'm using the exact same icing, the exact same piping bag to flood my cookie as I did to outline. And because of that, the hole in the tip of my piping bag is pretty small, but I have a few other cookies to outline, so I don't want to make it bigger. So bear with me here as I slowly flood the cookie. And because my icing is a 15-second consistency, I can go right up to the edge without having to worry that my icing is going to overflow and drip off the cookie. And if you jiggle your piping bag as you're flooding the cookie, the icing will settle down much quicker, so you'll have a lot less work to do with your scribe to get everything settled down and smooth. And once you finish with this, set the cookie aside to dry completely, and then I came back in with my projector and a non-toxic pencil, and I traced the details onto the cookie. You could also do this with the paper piecing method, and I'll leave a link to a tutorial on how to do that in the description also, so you don't have to have a projector. So I'm starting with the face, and I'm going to outline that and flood it in with a 15-second consistency royal icing in a skin tone. And then I'll use my scribe once again to shape the icing and get it out to the edges. If you don't have a scribe, you can also use a toothpick. You just want a way to be able to manipulate the icing and pop any air bubbles and get it smooth. And once you're finished with that, go ahead and move on down to his hands and pipe in a line for his thumb, and then his hand over here on the right side that's holding the soccer ball. And again, you can use your scribe to shape the area and smooth it down and settle any peaks. And then you'll want to set this cookie aside to dry until the icing crusts over, which for me took about 15 to 20 minutes. And then coming back with that same exact skin tone icing, I'm just going to pipe his ears and his neck and then use my scribe to shape those areas. And by letting each area dry before piping the area that's next to it, we're creating separation between all the little detailed elements. And when you look at the finished cookie, all those little sections can make it look pretty complicated. But you don't have to think about the whole cookie all at once. Let's just focus on each section as we're working on it, let it dry, and then we'll move on to the next. I also like to approach detailed cookies like this, kind of working from the back to the front. But we're going to just go ahead and skip an area here and move on up to his visor. We'll outline that and flood that in with a white royal icing, again in about a 15-second consistency. And little skinny areas like this are prone to getting craters where the icing will sink as it dries. So you want to make sure that you overfill this area slightly. So again, you need to be using at least a 15-second consistency icing so it doesn't overflow the boundaries. And then use your scribe to shape that area, settle it down, and make sure that that icing gets all the way down to the cookie. And then we'll let that dry while we move on down to the bottom of the cookie and outline his pants, and then flood that in as well. And one thing you want to try to do as you're filling in all these different sections is cover up your outline that you drew on the cookie before we started. So make sure that you cover up any outline marks so that those don't show later on. Speaking from personal experience, it's really quite disappointing when you get done with your cookies and you walk back in the next day and take a look at them and you realize you didn't cover the outline completely and it's still there for everyone to see and there's nothing you can do about it now. The cookie has dried. So once you finish with the pants, set Ted aside to dry again, and then we can come back in and pipe the next layer on his visor. So just go ahead and fill in a nice thick line here. Go ahead and overfill it because we want this area to be higher than the rest of it. So we want it to be higher than his face and higher than the visor behind. And again, you're going to want your icing to be at least a 15-second consistency to do this so it will hold its shape. Use your scribe to settle that icing down and smooth it. And then you can move on down to his jacket We're going to start by piping in the sleeve on the left side. And again, using our scribe to shape each area. And sometimes in little tiny areas like this, it's really hard to get your piping bag in these areas. So just put down some icing and then use your scribe to shape it and move it where you need it to be. And then let that area dry while moving on over to the other side and piping his other arm. Also, with little tiny areas like this, you don't necessarily need to outline it and then fill it in. Just go ahead and fill it all at once. And now I'm going to put this cookie back aside to dry for another 10 or 15 minutes, and then I'm going to come back in with my red icing and add in the lines for the jacket. I'm just going to barely touch up against the center here because, again, I want to keep areas of separation in between the two sides of the jacket. I'll smooth it out just a bit with my scribe. And then I'm going to let it dry again for another 15 minutes or so. You could also do a wet on wet effect here, and if you don't know what that is, I'll leave a link for a playlist on wet decorating ideas that you can do with your cookies. But basically for wet on wet, that red stripe would blend right in with the blue jacket and you wouldn't be able to see an area of separation between them. It would be one solid surface. So again, I'm not doing that. I let each section dry before coming back and piping in the next section next to it. There's a lot of details with Ted, but this is just a good reminder that by piping in sections and taking one section at a time, we're breaking it all down and making it much easier to do and much less complicated. You don't have to finish everything perfectly in one step. Build it, let it dry, come back, add another layer, and eventually all these pieces start working together. You need to trust in the process, or as Ted would say, believe. And let's take a minute here to talk about drying time. So I'm sticking my cookie in a dehydrator today. You could also put it in front of a small table fan or even a small table heater with the heat set on low, which will work just like a dehydrator. That will help your icing crust over quickly, allowing you to move on to the next section without having to wait too long. And it will also help keep craters from forming as the icing dries and sinks in these little tiny areas. And if you're working on several cookies at once, like I am with this Ted Lasso series, you have other cookies that you can be decorating while you wait for each one of these little sections to dry. Or you can even go take a coffee break and come back. So we've finished all the different sections of the jacket, and now I'm going to move on down to his shoes. So I'm just going to basically pipe a line here for both shoes and then use my scribe to shape it and settle that icing down. And if you've missed the other cookies in this series, I'm making all of these cookies for my husband. He's a huge Ted Lasso fan, and I actually made them towards the end of season 3. Never got the videos edited in time to put them out on YouTube. So I'm really happy that season 4 has started so that I can show you how I did all these cookies in case you want to make them too. It seems like a lot of people really love the Ted Lasso series, and these cookies might be a lot of fun to take to a watch party. So I just piped a big ball of a big ball of icing for the soccer ball, and we'll let that dry while we move on up and finally pipe in his hair. I usually like to work from the back to the front on a cookie when there's this many steps and parts, but I didn't do that here, and that's okay. It's still going to come out looking just fine. Just don't pipe a super thick line for his hair right here, because we still want that visor to be coming out over the top of the face and his hair. And if you happen to make too thick of lines for the hair here, you can always overpipe that visor again later. So shape his hair how you need to, and then move on up to the top and pipe in the rest of his hair. So squeeze your piping bag a little harder and put a thick line of hair over here. And remember to pipe over that outline we made at the very beginning when we drew the design onto the cookie. And then fill in the rest of his hair and use your scribe to shape it and settle down any peaks or bumps and pop any air bubbles. And we're getting down to the final details here. I'm just going to pipe in a little white dot for his shirt underneath the jacket here because I covered up what I had piped before when I piped the jacket. But that's okay. And then I'm just going to add a little circle here and then a line coming down from that to make the whistle on his jacket. I'll use my scribe to kind of shape it and bring everything together, and then I didn't like how long I made the whistle, So you're actually going to see me take a paintbrush and push up the bottom of the whistle here to make it just a little bit more square and a little shorter. And just want to get your paintbrush wet, wipe off all the extra water on a paper towel so it's practically dry, and then you can shape it. And then I set my cookie aside to dry completely before coming back in with some edible paints. And again, all of the products I used are linked in the description. And so I'm just going to paint in his eyes, making sure I cover up my outline and trying to keep both eyes the same size. Paint in his nose and his mouth. And then we're going to move up to his hat. I have a blue food gel that I thinned down with some food grade glycerin, and I'm just going to paint a line here separating his visor from the top of his hat, and then I'll just quickly paint the design on the cap. I like mixing the food gel with food grade glycerin because it makes for a much more workable paint that I can blend, and I can also wash away any mistakes with a paintbrush that's been cleaned with water and then dried off so that it's just barely damp. And then I added some detail and outlining to his jacket, and then I'm just going to add the detail to the soccer ball. Put a little dot for a highlight in his eyes. And then just like the other cookies in the Ted Lasso series, I wanted the bottom part of his jacket to be a lighter colored blue. So I used some white food paint, and then after I added a layer of that, I used my edible marker to add a little bit of lighter blue so that it's just slightly different color than the upper part of the jacket. And we'll let that dry for a second while we come on up here and pipe in his eyebrows. I'm putting more pressure on the piping bag as I start, and then I'm letting off the pressure and dragging a line towards the end for the skinny part of the eyebrow. And then I'm going to use my scribe just to shape it a little bit more and make it a little bit longer. And then all we have left to do is fill in his mustache, and we'll be done with our piping bags. So I have a pretty tiny hole cut in this piping bag so I can outline this little tiny area. If your hole in your piping bag is too big, just go ahead and slip the piping bag inside of another piping bag and cut a really tiny hole. And go ahead and outline and fill in this mustache, and then use your scribe to shape it and settle the icing down as needed. And now he finally looks like Ted. And one last thing, I'm going to use some silver edible paint to paint the whistle. And there he is, Ted Lasso. If there's one thing Ted would want us to remember, it's to believe. Your cookie doesn't have to be perfect, and a complicated design doesn't have to be intimidating. Take it one section at a time and trust the process, and believe you can do it. And that's a wrap on my Ted Lasso series. Thanks for decorating along with me, and let me know if there's any character from season 4 that you'd like to see as a cookie. Bye!